Kavanaugh in his sprint pulls up just outside the crease, shoots and scores! Matt Kavanaugh with the first goal of the championship game.
What's up, everyone, and Redwoods fans in particular, because this episode today is for you all. And I personally think the Redwoods have the most passionate fan base out of the entire league.
Let's go Woods! Let's go Woods!
But I kind of want to know what you guys think on this. Paul in the corner, let us know what you think. We're talking all things Woods this episode, from their preparation leading up to the championship series to what changes they're making to ensure that this summer they walk away champions and not the runners-up.
We're talking about a star-studded cast who forged an identity last summer with one of the most creative attack lines and one of the most feared defenses in the league. It allowed them to put together some marquee wins last season. The first one that comes to mind is when they handed the Whip Snakes their first loss of the season, Week 5 in Atlanta.
Whip Snakes, undefeated no more.
There it is, baby! Let's go!
And then, of course, their 18-goal performance against Chrome in Albany that got them a spot in the playoffs.
Redwoods needed to win by 7. They win by 11 and lock down a playoff berth.
Now, we know the Redwoods lost on the national stage to the Whip Snakes last summer, but you bet they're channeling that motivation and bringing it straight into this summer's championship series. And we're going to bring in members of that cast to talk about their run at the championship series this summer. Matt Kavanaugh, Eddie Glazner, Nat St. Laurent. But before we do that, we're going to hit you all with the news of the week, so don't go anywhere. It'll literally take less than a minute. Don't do it! Also, it is super windy, so we are going to shoot the rest of the episode in the backyard. All right, it's a little less windy in the backyard, but okay. It's literally so windy here that a chair blew into the pool.
We finally know where we will be having our 2020 championship series. We are headed to Zions Bank Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. We have been working alongside Utah's governor and many others to make sure we put on the best and safest event possible. I cannot wait to check out these facilities.
Our Father's Day sale is going on right now. We have a ton of our most popular items on sale, so don't wait to the last minute like I'm probably gonna do to shop for my dad. You can just do it in advance and click the link down below.
And we chatted with another Redwood on this week's Inside Feed, Joe Walters, on how he's preparing for the championship series, his infamous stick flip during his go-ahead goal in the championship game, and much more. That is linked down below to give it a listen.
Now, this offensive unit for the Redwoods has both creativity and grit. Do you all remember Matt Kavanaugh's performance in their do-or-die game last summer in Albany?
2-1, Kavanaugh got it! A huge two-pointer for Matt Kavanaugh as time expires.
He put up 4 goals, sent the Woods to the playoffs, and managed to lay this lick on Brett Queener.
Clean line of sight there for Queener, who gets decked by Kavanaugh.
Matt's going to talk about the creativity of this attack line, challenges they're going to face in year 2, and how the young talent on this club is going to shine in the championship series.
What's up, RJ and Lisa? Matt Kavanaugh, attackman on the Redwoods here. Our attack line is most creative when we're moving the ball, sharing the ball. Jules Henneberry is an incredible dodger. He's so much fun to play with. His constant pressure on the defense opens up a lot of opportunities for the offense around him. If he's going all in, he's got moves to go to the net, but if he makes a move and beats his defender, slide's coming right away and guys are open on the backside. Ryder is one of the most unique attackmen that I've ever played with. I got to play with him in college, and now professionally, it's been a pleasure playing with him. His stick skills are some of the best that I've ever seen, and the creativity that he puts into every play and every time he has the ball on his stick, you never know what's going to happen. You always got to be ready for a pass because he can get it to you with one hand behind the back. However he can get it to you, he'll get it to you. Clark Peterson is a great crease finisher. He's got great hands and tough around the crease. Anything you can jam inside to Clark, he's going to be catching and finishing, so you have a lot of confidence jamming the ball inside.
The dish inside, and it's 2 for Peterson.
The more that we move the ball and find the open guy and just move it one more, and trusting our teammates can make that one more play and make the right feed and make the right read, I think that's when we're at our best.
They see the field really well, and they got some good moves.
And they can make behind the back goals.
In the championship series, it's going to be a little bit like March Madness style tournament bracket, a straight sprint as opposed to the long season that we played last year. So I think just trusting our teammates and knowing everyone has a specific role and buying into the team, that creativity that we have as an identity on our team and on our offense is going to be huge in the 3-week tournament.
So this offense put on a show last season, but it would be nothing without the dominant Redwoods defense. You have Garrett Epple, who's not only one of the most physical players in the league, but led the PLL in ground balls with 40. Then you have John Sexton, who you guys should already know. He had one of the best pole goals of the year and is such a spark for the Redwoods offense.
There are pole goals, and there's that one from John Sexton.
And of course, you have a Rookie of the Year, Tim Troutner, in the cage. And they're all brought together by the one and only Eddie Gleisner.
Yo, find one! Find one! I go! Top side!
Now, after their championship loss, we asked Eddie how their defense has evolved and how they're seeking redemption in year 2.
Yeah, so year 1, I think we were able to set the tone very early. I think firstly, obviously, because I think we already had a lot of chemistry already built in to one another, obviously from playing together in college. It was a very seamless transition for us.
Describe your communication style.
Look, I like to be loud and direct traffic. I already know my own role, so there's no need for me to say what I'm doing.
Everyone knew the role that they had, embraced the role that they had, really. And that's what caused us to mesh so well together. You know, Landis was lockdown cover guy. Apple was all over ground balls and all over takeaways. And I, was as interior as I could be.
Ladies, not you! Not you, stay right, drop.
And helping direct traffic as much as I could, and no one really tried to cross any boundaries. We all kind of worked in one seamless, cohesive unit, and that's what I think helped us pull things together towards the end. We dropped a few games early. We had to fight our way into the playoffs, and then in the playoffs, our defense really buckled down and made up for some lost games that we had in the past, made a lot of adjustments, studied film, and came in clutch, I think, especially towards the end in that chaos game in the semifinals that sent us to the championship. And then even towards the championship, we gave up a few goals early, but we were never rattled, buckled down, and played our normal defense. Everyone embraced their roles, and next thing you know, we were looking at a lead in the fourth quarter.
Wide open, Walter scores! Redwoods lead!
It stings inside, especially to give up a goal in overtime. The way that it works sometimes is one team gets one more opportunity than you. We obviously have been thinking about this nonstop ever since those moments at the end of the championship game. I think more than anything, we've probably embraced it and see this as a time to really come together and prove our worth and be an even better defense this upcoming season.
And now I'm getting hot. It's windy and I'm getting hot. There we go. All right, that's better. So it's no doubt that this Redwoods D was a force to be reckoned with in 2019, but their team as a whole was driven on emotion last season. So in year 2, how do they channel that emotion and come together in a 2-week sprint of a season when tensions are high?
Be smart. Stop talking shit. Cut it out. That isn't a spark. What's a spark is diving and scooping through a damn ball and getting to the other end. That's a spark.
Head coach Nat St. Laurent was hands down one of the biggest influences on the Redwoods establishing their identity in 2019. I mean, I was fired up for his pregame, halftime speeches just to be there on the outside of the huddle. Whether it was DC or Philly, Nat was always firing this team out.
Let's just go get it. Take it from them. Let's go. They don't want it. We gotta take it. Let's go.
Now we're gonna bring in Coach Nat to talk about how the Redwoods found this identity in 2019 and what they're seeking to achieve this summer specifically.
You get an opportunity to prove you're the best of the best. That's why you signed up to be in this league. We got an opportunity to beat a team who I keep hearing how hungry they are for a win. Well, you know what? It means a lot to us. Don't take this opportunity for granted. Go out there, outwork them for every f***ing ground ball. It's got to be us.
Last year's team was a great team to coach. I think early on we found out what type of team we had.
We set the tone. You go playing in the woods, you're going to get knocked down. All right? It's all about us. Just remember, though, anybody comes into the woods, let them know this ain't a place to f*** around in. Here we go. Roll Woods on 3. 1, 2, 3. Roll Woods!
Before we got into things, there was something about this team that we were going to be in every game, every situation we possibly could, because it was a veteran-led team. It was gritty. We had a bunch of young guys They play with a chip on their shoulder. They love the game and a ton of energy. So we made some moves, brought in some rookies, and at the first training camp in a scrimmage, we kind of saw that this team was going to be resilient, and that's what I think of when I think about our team. And it really reared its head in Albany when our backs were against the wall. Everybody was counting us out, especially after the Friday night game before us. Our chances were grim and to none.
There's no tomorrow at this point. There's no tomorrow at this point. Everything you got.
Our guys stepped up. The leadership wouldn't let us go away. The young guys kept fighting and trying to make plays, and we hit a big 2 going into halftime. And I think the culmination of what we started all the way back at training camp with our toughness, with that edge, really showed its face in that Albany game and got us going and helped us realign and gave us the swagger and the confidence to go ahead and make a big run.
We talked way back in training camp about our whys and why we play this game and having hope, and now we have hope.
I think everybody is excited to play this championship series, our team especially, because the last time that we were together, it really was Heartbreak City, and I felt terrible as the head coach of this team for the guys to fight back and show you that resiliency that we showed all year when people counted us out and dead in the water like we did going into that Albany game and like we did in the second half of that championship game. So extremely fortunate to be the head coach of this group. I love this team, and I can't wait to get to work with them and go after what we were chasing since last year, and that's a championship ring.
So there you have it. The Redwoods have the leadership, the most dominant defense in the league, and one of the most creative offenses we saw last summer and probably this summer as well. We know there's going to be a rematch between the Woods and Whips at some point this season. Who do you guys have taking that one? Comment down below who you think will win the rematch.
That was my whistle attempt. Lisa, tell the people what they can win this week.
What is the Woods' greatest strength and why? Comment your answer down below for a chance to win a Woods block team.
All right, that's it for us this week. I'm gonna work on pulling my chair out of the pool. Make sure to comment below for a chance to win that Redwoods tee. And also, if you think the Woods are gonna win the championship series this summer, throw a bear emoji down below. I wanna know just how many Redwoods fans are on this channel and watching this episode specifically. I mentioned at the top of the show that I think the Redwoods might have the most ravenous fan base in the entire league. And I want you to prove it. Like the video too while you're down there. And make sure you subscribe. That's it. Roll Woods. We'll see you next week. Usually on these, you're supposed to show a lot of emotion and talk about how excited you are. Are you still holding this whip snakes thing against me?
Roll Woods. It's a wrap.